If you're trying to learn hacking by studying more, stop. That is exactly why you feel stuck. Most beginners work harder than professionals, install more tools, take more notes, and still freeze the moment a real target appears. I know, because I wasted months doing everything I was told to do. Course after course, tool after tool, page after page of notes. And then I would open a real target, stare at the screen, and have no idea what to do next. What finally worked was not trying harder. It was deleting almost everything I thought I needed. That was the moment I realized something uncomfortable. Hacking is not about knowing more. It is about deciding faster. Once I understood that, my learning speed multiplied. Here is the real problem with how hacking is usually taught. It is taught like school. Topics first, practice later. Learn networking, then Linux, then web, then tools. Then maybe, eventually, try something real. But real hacking does not happen in chapters. It happens in chaos. Information is incomplete. Tools break. Outputs are noisy. No one tells you what to try next. That means the real skill is not memorizing techniques. The real skill is navigating uncertainty, knowing how to move forward when nothing is obvious. That is the skill this lazy method builds. Instead of studying hacking, you run a feedback loop. You take action, you observe the result, you fail, you adjust, and you repeat. The tighter that loop is, the faster you learn. Everything in this method is designed to remove friction from that loop. The core rule is simple. Never learn something unless a real problem forces you to. No long courses up front. No certifications before competence. No theory without context. You only learn what you need exactly when you need it. You always start with a real target. Not a course, not a roadmap, not a playlist. A target. That might be a lab or a vulnerable web app. Constraints prevent overwhelm. One target at a time, no multitasking. No switching because something feels hard. Quitting early is the fastest way to reset your learning curve. When you start, you attack with what you already know, even if that knowledge feels useless. You do not wait until you feel ready. That moment never comes. You run basic checks. You poke obvious inputs. You explore without understanding everything. Action creates clarity. Preparation rarely does. Most beginners delay action because they want confidence first. But confidence is the result, not the prerequisite. Once you interact with the target, you move into the hacking process itself. The first phase is orientation. This is not deep scanning. This is understanding boundaries. What kind of system is this? Is it web-facing? Is it internal? Is authentication involved? Is there user input? You are not hunting vulnerabilities yet. You are building a rough mental map. Think of this as answering the question, what am I actually dealing with here? The next phase is lightweight reconnaissance. And this is where beginners usually slow themselves down. They overscan. They run everything. They collect massive outputs they do not understand. Recon is not about completeness. It is about generating your first assumptions. What looks normal? What looks interesting? What stands out? You are looking for potential entry points, not answers. At this stage, the goal is to find something you can test. This phase is also where tool overload kills momentum. New learners juggle multiple tools, outputs, formats, and configurations. By the time they understand what they are looking at, their energy is gone. This is one of the biggest friction points in learning hacking. Too much setup, too much noise, no idea what matters. This is exactly where Hackify fits into the lazy method. This tool is a game changer for anyone looking to get started with ethical hacking. It has so many modules, but I will cover some of the cool ones. Hackify gives you step-by-step attack flow guides for your specific needs. It clearly shows you the attack process, what tools you would need, and what commands to use in order to meet your hacking objective. You also get hacking checklists for a bunch of systems such as web, Windows, Linux, and mobile, so you never miss an important step or have to guess where to begin. Perfect for beginners who are unsure what tools to use when and need a helping hand. You also have a command reference module that covers the most important tools and commands, along with a database of hacking techniques and script collection. One of the most useful functions for me was the HackerGPT module. Here you can either choose one of the standard hacking scenarios or enter a custom hacking objective. It will then literally design a custom attack plan for your objective, covering the various phases, tools, and steps you would need to do. Pretty cool. Instead of manually chaining tools together and guessing which output is important, Hackify consolidates early-stage recon and give you meaningful attack paths and hacking checklists that work. That solves 3 problems at once: data overload, setup friction, and the question of what to try next. Hackify shortens the gap between seeing a target and making your first decision. And that gap is where most learners stall. You'll find the link in the comments and description. Once you have initial signals, you move into hypothesis testing. This is the heart of hacking. You form a guess. This input might be reflected. This endpoint might trust client-side validation. This authentication might be flawed. You do not need to be right. You need to test. You try something small. You observe the response. If it fails, that is not wasted time. That is the lesson. Here is a critical rule. Never copy an exploit until you understand why it should work. Copying without understanding kills learning. It bypasses the feedback loop. Instead, ask one question. What assumption does this attack rely on? If that assumption is wrong, the exploit will fail. When it fails, you adjust the assumption, not the command. This is how you learn backwards from failure. After a failed attempt, you research. But this is not broad learning. You do not go learn SQL injection or XSS. You research exactly what blocked you. One error, one behavior, one unexpected response. You search precise symptoms, exact error messages, exact conditions. You read documentation with a purpose, and you stop the moment you can try again. Over-research feels safe, but safety does not build intuition. Action does. Then you iterate, you test again, you refine the hypothesis, you adjust inputs, you observe changes. This loop repeats over and over. Orientation, recon, hypothesis, test, adjust. Every pass through the loop sharpens your decision-making. Speed matters here. The faster you move from idea to test, the faster you learn. Anything that slows this loop should be removed. This is why limiting your toolset is so important. Beginners think more tools equal more capability. In reality, every new tool resets your learning curve. Early on, depth beats variety. Pick a small set of tools and reuse them across every target. Familiarity compounds. You start recognizing patterns. You notice when outputs look off. You predict outcomes before running commands. That intuition transfers to new environments. Another place people waste time is note-taking. Most notes are command graveyards, lists of syntax with no context. Those notes feel productive but do not transfer. Instead, write conclusions. Write why something worked. Write why something failed. Write what assumption changed. Those notes are reusable. They strengthen mental models instead of memory. A practical habit that keeps retention high is ending every session deliberately. Never stop randomly. Never stop out of frustration. Either you achieve a win or you define one clear blocking question. If you gained access, that is a win. If you are stuck, clearly name what is stopping you. That question becomes the entry point for your next session. This creates continuity. It keeps momentum alive. This method feels uncomfortable. You will feel confused more often. You will feel underprepared. You will feel like you are missing information. That discomfort is the signal that learning is happening. Most people quit here and go back to courses because confusion feels like failure. It is not. It is progress. Those who push through develop something rare, trust in their process. Eventually, you stop asking, what tool should I learn next? You start asking, what assumption should I test next? That is the difference between a beginner and a hacker. Your confidence no longer comes from memorized techniques. It comes from knowing you can move forward even when nothing is obvious. This method is ideal for self-learners, especially people without mentors, especially people overwhelmed by resources. It is not for people who need step-by-step certainty. Hacking does not offer certainty. Discipline still matters, but discipline is applied to action, not consumption. The final takeaway is simple. Lazy does not mean careless. Lazy means removing friction. Precision beats effort. Feedback beats grind. The fastest learners are not the ones who study the most. They are the ones who optimize the loop between failure and insight. Here is the challenge. For the next 7 days, pick one box on Try Hack Me or Hack the Box. Follow the process. Orient. Recon. Form a hypothesis. Test it. Adjust. Use minimal tools. Reuse them. Move fast. let failure guide learning. And if you want to eliminate the biggest friction points that slow beginners down, like tool overload, slow setup, and unclear next steps, use Hackify to compress the feedback loop and keep momentum high. I'll link it down in the description, not as a replacement for thinking, but as a force multiplier for learning.